Fairest on the push-off, not enough.
Because, great vision and patience from Brazil, going straight to the post.
There's that take by Jody. And a great feed from Lynn to Nelson. That connection is building.
Sadly, from the Magpies' perspective, again she comes through. She won't be denied.
Brazil. Wow. The story that tells, but well done to the Collingwood Magpies.
Hello and welcome to the 2021 Collingwood Magpies Best and Fairest, where we celebrate the outstanding individual performances of our athletes during what was an extraordinary season of netball. And of course, we crown our 5th Collingwood Magpies Best and Fairest tonight. Really exciting for the players that are joining us, and they're joining us from across the globe. But before we go any further, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we meet. I am on the Wurundjeri land and would like to pay my respects to the elders past and present. Well, welcome to everyone wherever you may be tuning in. As I said, our players are joining us from across the globe. Jiva Mentor is in Christchurch doing another quarantine stint as she prepares to represent England. Jodie Ann Ward is back home in Jamaica. Khalifa McCollin is preparing to leave for Trinidad and Tobago. And Kelsey Brown is up north enjoying the sunshine in Queensland. So we have our players joining us from all areas of the globe, and of course we come together via technology, which is a little strange, but nonetheless it's a great time for us to celebrate an extraordinary season of netball. It was played in some of the most extraordinary circumstances, somehow through all the lockdowns and restrictions, the quarantines and last minute dashes to the airport. Somehow the season still went ahead, and through it all the Collingwood Magpies did us so proud. And gave us so many highlights. In the last 2 years, the team has played just 3 games on our home court at John Cain Arena, and to be so competitive week in and week out and just miss out on the finals in season 2021 shows the strength of these remarkable young women, one of whom will take home the honours as the 2021 Collingwood Magpies Best and Fairest. Will it be the skipper who will add to her silverware a 3rd Collingwood Best and Fairest? Or will it be our mid-court dynamo Kelsey Brown capping off an extraordinary return from injury? Maybe it'll be our sharpshooter Shimona Nelson, or our defensive star Jodie Ann Ward, or maybe it'll be a young gun coming up to take the honours. Time will tell, but there are plenty of worthy recipients. This year could not have been possible without the wonderful support of our corporate partners in 2021, and we're really proud to partner with leading international and national organisations, and they include Nike, Coles, Chemist Warehouse, Origin Energy and TAC. So a big thank you to our wonderful supporters for standing by us in 2021. We'd also like to thank the Tasmanian Government and our partners Netball Tasmania for their tremendous support and friendship. Well, to get things officially underway for our Magpies Best and Fairest, I'm pleased to welcome Collingwood CEO Mark Anderson.
Thanks, Sarah. Great to be with you all, and albeit in virtual land. And we know that Collingwood's gone global when we have to hold our BNF at 11 a.m. to make sure that everyone gets online. It's great to have the whole team together, albeit virtually, and a big welcome also to our board that are on the line, and President Mark Corder, all of which have been watching on from afar, unfortunately, this season as you've gone about season 2021. Can I start by saying an incredible thanks and well done to you, our players within the Netball Magpie family, and to our coaches and our staff. As Sarah said up front, it's been an incredible 2 years. We've had only, I think, 3 games at the John Cain Arena, our supposed home ground, over 2 seasons, and that just reinforces how bizarre our COVID world is. But you all, without exception, have just done it incredibly well this year. I think we've been the most impacted team across the whole competition this year. The amount of times you've had to pack up, get on the road, not know where you're going, for how long you're going, and get to a location and do that with a smile on your face, with the commitment to perform on court and just to suck it up and make the best of a really tough situation. It is a credit to the whole netball program and certainly for you as players that you're able to deliver on court. 2021 was a season of real progress and that is, as we know, genuine and authentic. To Richo, Nicole, our first season with you as head coach, you should be proud of what you've achieved as head coach. You've brought a real vitality, energy and enthusiasm to the group, and importantly, that matched by your tactical expertise and ably supported by Kate, appropriately sitting next to you, at least on my screen. Well done to you as well as assistant coach, and you formed a dynamic duo that's led our team incredibly well. From our players, mentioned how well you've conducted yourself and represented yourselves, and throughout the whole competition, the way that Collingwood Magpies just basically got on it and made it work and recorded with some great wins across the season, knocking on the door, obviously, at finals, knocking off Swifts and Firebirds when in our hub in Brisbane against the odds in reality. Incredibly impressive performance, and it's been a year of great progress from our playing perspective as well. And to our staff that have ably supported and again sacrificed a lot, that in many cases left family behind in support of the team, have been team focused and done an amazing job under extreme circumstances. A real thanks to you, our staff, in support of our team as well. And appropriately, here in front of the sponsor backdrop, we couldn't do it without our sponsors, and from Nike, which I think we've got a number of representatives from Nike on board. I can see Tambo on board, their CEO Ash Reid, and others that are on the BNF. AIA, the CEO Damien Moo, who's on board, Chemist Warehouse, TAC and Victoria Responsible Gambling Foundation. You've been amazing partners for us and we've really appreciated that you've stuck with us in COVID times as well. So a year of real progress on court, a year of record membership off court, which is amazing, and credit to Mo, an amazing job in support of netball as always in this really difficult year. Growing corporate support of our team, our partnership with Tasmanian Government extended. We've remained undefeated in our 5 years down at Silverdome. It's a real fortress down there and we love getting down there and more of that. And specifically some highlights to finish off. Jiva Mentor on her 200th game this year in across SSN and Magpie colours. That's an incredible performance. 200 games in a condensed netball season is equivalent to probably 350 plus in our AFL land. Amazing job, Jiva in the 200 there. Kelsey Brown returning from injury, as Frezel as well returning from injury, made a massive difference. So welcome back into the team from you too, and Ash Fraz, that being recorded with a selection for the Australian Diamonds as well. So a year of great progress. Great that you can all join us. Enjoy the BNF and congrats to all our winners over the course of the day. Thanks, Sarah. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Mark. Well, let's get stuck into it and look back at the season that was. We'll start at John Cain Arena for round one of our minimal home games that we did get to play. We took on the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. After a long and gruelling pre-season, live netball graced John Cain Arena for the first time in 615 days. While the Magpies fell to the Sunshine Coast Lightning, plenty of positives emerged from the season opener, including successful returns from injury for mid-court stars Ash Brazel and Kelsey Brown, and Nicole Richardson's first game at the helm as senior coach. The Magpies hit the road for their first away trip for the season in round 2, taking on Giants netball at the brand new Ken Rosewell Arena. Kelsey Brown continued her impressive return with 34 feeds, 21 goal assists and 19 centre pass receives. Unfortunately for the Magpies, the Giants christened their new home with a 12-goal win. Round 3 was one to remember, with the Magpies recording their first win of the 2021 season hanging on in a 4-goal thriller against the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Sinclair nailed the 2-point bomb with 3 minutes to play to even the ledger, and another after the siren to seal the margin at 4 goals. The Magpies made it back-to-back wins, notching their second consecutive victory in round 4 as they triumphed over the Queensland Firebirds at their home away from home, the Silverdome. Jodie Ward caused havoc at wing defence, and Ash Brazel's will and determination just about got the Magpies over the line. Well, there we have it. That was rounds 1 through to 4 for the Magpies netball team. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and see who the early leaders are in the vote count. And there's no surprises there that Jodie Ward and Shimona Nelson are sitting top there of the leaderboard. Kelsey Brown coming back from injury, and Ash Brazel's great start to the season for those two. And the young guns down the bottom there, Molly Jovic and Jackie Newton, capping out the top 4. So some great results there, and we look forward to following that leaderboard throughout the event and seeing who ultimately takes out the 5th Collingwood Magpies Best and Fairest. Now, the Earn Your Wings Club has been established to recognise and acknowledge the players who have proudly worn the black and white stripes for Collingwood Magpies since its inception in 2017. Each player who takes the court for the Magpies is given a number and joins a team with strong values of the Magpie way and a passion for growing netball as part of Collingwood. So let's take a look back through from 2019 through to 2021 and give the numbers to those players who have taken the court for Collingwood Magpies. So there you can see, starting at 2019, Kimiora Poi, and 2020 through is Jodie Ann, Emma, Molly Jovic, Nia Allen, Kelly Altman, Tyler Orr, Caitlin Black, all getting their numbers in 2020. And then moving into 2021, and we saw Khalifa McCollin come to the Pies and have an outstanding first season, Jackie Newton, Fiona Fowler and Maggie Lind all getting their Magpies numbers in 2021. Those numbers will forever hold, those players will forever hold those numbers, and we thank them for representing our club with such integrity and great sportsmanship. So well done to all those girls. Well, let's get the awards away, and it is time to announce the Players Player Award, which is awarded to the player judged by their teammates as living by the Magpies values. And I'm delighted to announce that the Players Player Award for 2021 goes to the skipper, Jiva Mentor.
Jiva Mentor, we mentioned it earlier, enjoys a game in a challenge against Romelda Aiken. And Mentor in perfect rebounding position.
Oh, great. Oh, that's excellent defence over the shot. Jiva Mentor just slightly lifted Ward in the air.
Well done to Jiva. She came back from that early season back injury and, as Mark said, played her 200th professional match in Australia, which is an extraordinary achievement. Jiva, it must be really rewarding being recognised by your teammates as living the Magpie values.
Absolutely, and thank you, everybody. I think, especially this year, not being able to, I guess, execute the way I wanted to on court, to know that I've done a good job, I guess, off the court, and particularly in a year that has just presented so much, so many hurdles at us to have to go through, and to know that I could be there to support not just every single one of my teammates, but hopefully the staff and coaches as well. And it was certainly an unprecedented year for us all. And I know I'm doing my job if I can try and make everyone's life a little bit easier. And I like to think that I operate with transparency, and I kind of let people know what's happening, and then supportive in that. And sometimes it's not an easy role, and I don't always get it right. But I think the great thing is the relationships that I have with every single person, and that we're able to have those open and honest, I guess, conversations. And yeah, I'm thankful that I'm able to do my job, particularly off the court.
You spoke about some of the challenges throughout the season, and you obviously are the skipper of the side. Can you compare what it was like to lead a group of girls through the season that was, compared to years where you were travelling as you normally would, playing at home, playing away. How challenging was that season from a leadership point of view?
Well, I think as any athlete, one of our qualities is we are actually very organised. We know what we're doing day in, day out, week in, week out, almost year in, year out. So to have that taken away from us with so much uncertainty definitely challenged us all. And I think resilience has been the word thrown around this season for us. And some of us have a lot of it. Some of us are still evolving in that space. And so I think for me as a leader, it was important that I was always there to try to be approachable as possible. Know that I wasn't going alone. I had great support in Ash Braz, obviously as vice captain, but not just people with titles, but also Kelsey and the rest of the girls that sort of took up that role. And it wasn't just about the experienced girls in the team, it was down to everybody throughout the team. So yeah, as a leader, I think it's important that, yes, I'm there and a sort of a spearhead to it all, but it's important that I also create that environment where everyone feels like they've got a platform to speak and feels comfortable enough to be able to have conversations and feel supported.
You also notched up your 200th professional match here in Australia. You must have been a baby when you first came out here to play for the Thunderbirds. Have you had time to reflect on your career here in Australia and some of the amazing things that you've achieved?
Oh, it's been absolutely wonderful. And I think for me, I'm always looking forward, hence why the sort of the years and the games have sort of rolled on, and now I can look back and see that I've notched up my 200th. So I think every team that I've been part of, every team member, whether it's players or coaches, I've valued something from that, and it's those memories that I'll take on and cherish. And I think that's what keeps me going and what inspires me to keep pushing on and keep creating new ones. And the body now is starting to hold up after a few little wiggles in there. But yeah, I'm just excited to see what the rest of the years hold. I obviously love doing what I do, but it's because of the people I do it with.
And you're set for another stint in quarantine. We can see you in your hotel room there. You must be getting pretty good at keeping yourself occupied in quarantine.
Yeah, so here in Christchurch, luckily I've got a little bit of balcony, so a bit of fresh air. Obviously the bike in the room that you can see behind me. But I guess with such a roller coaster season where we're here, there and everywhere, it's actually quite nice to know that I'm at least camped here for the next 2 weeks. I've got a sort of bit of peace and quiet and a bit of alone time too, to catch up on a bit of life admin and just sort of, I guess, fill up my cup, put a bit of energy back into myself. So yeah, I'm getting definitely a master at these quarantines and isolations.
Jiva, is there anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
I think particularly for this award, it's every single one of you, every single one of those faces that I see on this screen here. It has definitely been a roller coaster season, and one that I couldn't have done without all of you. It definitely sort of got me towards breaking point at some point, which I think it had to all of you, but I think it's because I look at every single one of you, and that's what gets me over that edge, and that's what's given me the strength again. So obviously very thankful for my team, which became my family this year. And then also for my friends and family who are always back home, and the virtual space became a comfort for me. So being able to talk to my mum and my dad over FaceTime, or my brother who was back in Melbourne, and even my partner, Jared. So it's definitely to everyone who's been there for me. And although I am alone in quarantine, I feel like I've got the presence of everyone around me. So technically not always alone.
Well done on an extraordinary effort this season. Your leadership was definitely something that has been recognised clearly by taking out the Players Player Award. So once again, Jiva, congratulations on being the 2021 Players Player, and good luck in quarantine and with your campaign with the England.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks.
Alrighty, let's take a look back at the season. We're up to round 5 through to round 9 and see what the girls put out on court. It was a whirlwind trip to Sydney for the Magpies in round 5, who made a last-minute dash out of Melbourne. The Magpies worked their way back into the game in the third quarter off the back of a dominant display from Shimona Nelson. But a swing in momentum in the last quarter saw the 4 points go to the home side. Round 6 saw the extension of Collingwood's stay in Sydney, with the Magpies' home games switched to Ken Rosewell Arena. Shimona Nelson netted 39 goals at 95% accuracy, while Ash Brazel continued her strong comeback season, transitioning seamlessly from wing defence to centre throughout the match. It was a different-looking derby in round 7, with the fixture shuffle forcing the two Melbourne sides to remain in Sydney to do battle at Ken Rosewell Arena. The The Magpies return to the winners list with a commanding 16-goal victory to claim bragging rights in the first edition of the Derby for the year. Round 8 delivered arguably the most entertaining match of Collingwood's season, but unfortunately for the Magpies, they were on the wrong side of an extra-time thriller against the Lightning come final siren. Shimona Nelson contributed another colossal shooting effort with 52 goals at 91% accuracy. A tough road trip to Adelaide followed, with the Magpies unable to make it 2 from 2 against the Thunderbirds for the year. After getting off to a fast start, the Magpies ultimately fell 8 goals short. Jiva Mentor was influential in defence with 6 deflections and 2 intercepts. There we have it. Let's take a look at the leaderboard as it stands after the first 9 rounds of the 2021 season. And let's see how the count is shaping up. Ash Brazel there in 4th, and look at that top 3. They're really starting to surge ahead. Shimona Nelson, Jodie Ann Ward and Kelsey Brown all sitting pretty tight in 1st, 2nd and 3rd. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in those final 4 rounds as we round out the count. Now, as we've spoken about many times already on the Zoom, 2021 presented a lot of challenges for the Magpie netball side, but it also presented some great opportunities, and that, of course, was the debut season for our senior coach, Nicole Richardson, and it's just the first of many. As we heard just a week or so ago, she's been announced as taking on a further 2 years as a senior coach of Magpies netball, and I'm delighted to welcome her onto the Zoom today. Nicole, congratulations on getting extended for a further 2 years. Can you talk us through your debut season as a senior coach? It wasn't quite an easy one to come in and take over at the helm.
Wow, I must say, what an introduction to the hot seat. I guess for me, mentally, physically and emotionally, it was such an exhausting year, but must say I absolutely loved every minute of it. It was a roller coaster of emotions, but I couldn't be any prouder of what we achieved as a group. And I know we've spoken about it, but you take that game against the Sunny Coast and we win that in extra time, and we miss out on finals by percentage. So tough, challenging year, but as I said, very proud of what the group was able to put out on court this year.
Yeah, there's so many positives to take out of the season, and 2022 is going to be really exciting for the club. Can you talk us through how you lead a team through times where they're given just hours to pack their bags and get to the airport, and sometimes not knowing how long they're going to be there and where they're going to next? As the coach of a group of young girls going through those challenges, can you talk us through what that presented for you and your coaching staff, and how proud you are of the girls to be able to show that resilience?
Look, I think Jiva spoke about it earlier, and we're very fortunate enough that we've got such experienced players as well in terms of Jiva, Ash, Braz, and also Kelsey, who are able to also assist in leading the group. And I guess we speak a lot about being able to control the controllables, and obviously this was something that was out of our control. So in terms of trying to focus on what we could focus on, I think we remained really positive within the group, which enabled us to actually embrace the situation.
Talk to us about 2022. You spoke about a couple of wins there in this season that have shown that the team is sort of really ready to ramp up and have a real crack at potentially finals next year. Can you tell us what we can look forward to in season 2022 with this list?
Yeah, look, the group was really exciting. I think, the first time with me as head coach, and, we welcomed the return of Brazzy and Kelsey to the lineup, plus also the addition of our new players in Jackie Newton and Khalifa McCollin. So it's going to take time to get consistency and get those connections across the courts. And you just got to have a look at someone like the Swifts, who have been together for such a long time and been able to come away and play consistent netball across the years. And I think moving forward into 2022, we played a really exciting brand of netball this year. And as we said, not far off playing finals. And certainly next year, the capacity to be able to keep the core of this group moving forward and build on those connections both on and off the court and continue to build our brand is something that I'm really looking forward to.
Obviously, with lockdowns here in Melbourne and girls returning back home overseas, it must be hard to keep the girls together at training and focused. How do you do that over the off season? Do you give them a strict set of training guidelines, or do you give them a bit of time off before you get them back into the nitty gritty of things?
Yeah, look, we're in a really unique situation at the moment. Obviously, the likes of Jiva and Jodie Ann Warren and also Khalifa McCollin are coming up for international matches. So they need to ensure that they continue with their training. Ash Brazel is preparing for diamond selection, so she continues along her journey towards that. And the likes of our younger players also in Jackie Newton, Mel Bragg, Nia Allen, they're also preparing for ANC if that goes ahead. So it's really tough for the athletes at the moment with the uncertainty of what's presented forward. But it's important that those that are preparing for matches continue in some sort of training, but also important to get that balance between the time off as well.
Nicole, is there anyone you want to thank before we close out this interview?
Oh, wow, there's lots of people to thank, and I hope I don't miss anyone. But I guess to start off with, just a massive thank you to the playing group who really embraced the game plan that Kate and I were really trying to develop and establish. And I think they really started to execute. And we could see that towards the back end of the season. And, you know, it was such a uncertainty in terms of where, who and when we were playing. So I think they were really professional in the way that they went about that. To Mark Anderson, David Emerson, the board and all the staff at Collingwood Football Club, thank you very much for making the journey as seamless as possible. We really felt your support from afar. To our General Manager of Women's Sport, Jane Woodlands-Thompson, thank you very much for all that you've given Collingwood over the three years, and we wish you all the very best in your next journey. To our support staff that weren't able to make the trip, to Tim, our strength and conditioning coach, Emily and Lisa, nutrition-wise, thank you very much. To Jackie Lauder, our sports psychologist. To Maddie Hayter, player development manager, thank you very much for making sure that you stayed in touch with the group while we were away and made things quite easy for us. And also, I guess, you know, the staff that went away, you know, particularly to Kate Upton and Michelle George, who I'm sure Michelle didn't sign up for this in her first year as team manager, but both of those ladies have families back home. So it was great to have them on board. To our physio, Adriana, thank you very much for all the support that you gave us. I know that you were trying to get back home, couldn't get on a flight and rejoin the group. So thank you very much for all that you gave to the team. And I hope I haven't missed anyone there. I have, says Kate Upton. But yeah, look, it's been great. And also to our newest recruit on board. So sorry, Bianca. So Bianca in PA, you know, Bianca came on board first year this year and didn't know a lot about netball, but the initiatives that she showed, she was really proactive in what she needed to do and really grasped the game quite quickly and gave the support to Kate and I that we needed. And last but not least, to all our family and friends back home to allow us to continue to do what we love to do. And we could not have done it without you, and you made our job being away from home a lot much easier. So family and friends, and also to my parents, thank you very much for all the support that you've given me across the years.
It takes an army, doesn't it, Nicole? There's so many people in the program that have put so much time and effort into getting this team onto court. So thank you very much for recognising all of them. And congratulations again on your appointment for a further 2 years. We can't wait to watch your passion out there coaching our girls. It's really exciting news for Collingwood Magpies. Alrighty, now we have the final 4 matches of the year to look through the highlights. As we saw on the leaderboard a little earlier, it's pretty tight up there at top, with the top 3 just having a few votes separating them. So let's have a look at the last 4 rounds of the season, and then we'll get into announcing our runner-up and the winner of the Collingwood Magpies Best and Fairest. The Magpies finally returned home in round 10, and with Jiva Mentor set to notch up her 200th National League appearance, there was plenty to celebrate. Unfortunately, the Giants were out to spoil the party, taking home a 9-goal win. However, Mentor's 200th match may have been her best for the season. The Melbourne Derby again found a new home in round 11, with all teams relocated to what would become a short-lived Adelaide hub. The The Magpies made it 2 from 2 to complete a Derby clean sweep, defeating the Vixens by 4 goals for their 4th win of the season. Jodie Ward continued her standout season with perhaps her best game, recording 8 deflections, 8 gains and 3 intercepts. Round 12 brought another relocation, and with finals approaching, the Magpies were in desperate need of a win to keep the dream alive, and a win is exactly what they delivered. Shimona Nelson contributed a career-best 69 goals as the Magpies stormed over the Premiership-fancied Swifts by 13 goals in Brisbane. Momentum just kept rolling as the Magpies made it back-to-back victories in Brisbane, recording a 7-goal win over the Firebirds in the league's inaugural Pride match. It was the Magpies' second stirring victory of the week, led by Gabby Sinclair, who pushed through a dislocated finger to take out Player of the Match honours with 14 goals, 21 feeds and 18 goal assists. After storming home at the back end of the season and producing some of the best netball the competition had seen, unfortunately the fairy tale finish wasn't to be for the Magpies. The required results didn't fall in the Magpies' favour, and they eventually went down to the highly fancied Fever to bring an end to their whirlwind season. While the final standing on the ladder may have fallen just short, there's no understating what the group managed to achieve in the toughest Super Netball season to date. Well, that rounds out the 2021 Magpies netball season, and just as a reminder, a recap of how tight it was on the leaderboard leading into those last 4 rounds. Kelsey Brown was sitting on 27 votes, Jodie Ward on 24 and Shimona Nelson on 23. So really tight up the top there. And as a result, it means that we have joint runner-up winners in 2021. One of which has capped off an amazing return from injury to put together a stellar season in the mid-court, while the other was second in the league for goals scored. Our runner-up in 2021 Collingwood Magpies Best and Fairest is Kelsey Brown and Shimona Nelson.
Nelson has been on song this season.
What a take from Kelsey Brown. Oh, Nelson! That's amazing.
Incredible work from Kelsey Brown.
Nelson, though, that take was a point to prove, wasn't it? I'm not going anywhere. I'm getting stronger as this game goes on.
That is the touch that you need to feed Shimona with.
Sinclair Ward.
Oh, the ball work. How impressive between Jovic and Brown. We spoke about that the other night. And way downtown. What a take from Nelson.
Joint runner-up Kelsey Brown and Shimona Nelson, and we'll start with Kelsey. She fought back from injury to put together an amazing season this year, voted MVP in 4 rounds, top 5 for goal assists and centre pass received. She's one of the stars of Suncorp Super Netball. Kelsey Brown, congratulations, runners-up in the 2021 Collingwood Magpies Best and Fairest. You must be wrapped.
Yeah, that's I'm shocked and yeah, really excited. And it's nice to be online and see all of these faces again.
I think you're probably the only person that's shocked to have polled well in the Best and Fairest. You were voted MVP in 4 games. Did you get a sense that you were piecing together a really strong season?
To be honest, this season was all about, and I think it's been mentioned a couple of times, just returning from injury, finding a bit of confidence in my ability to play again after 2 pretty big years on the sidelines. And just sort of struggling with my body for a while. So this year has exceeded all expectations for me. I feel like what we started to put out there made it really easy for me to take my game to the next level. And yeah, I'm really excited to be feeling good in my body again, playing with this group of girls. And yeah, it exceeded all expectations, to be honest.
You mentioned it's been 2 sort of tough years of injury, and most people think you are just trying to get your body right to get back on court, but the mental side of it is really big as well. Can you talk us through how hard it was to regain that confidence just to get out there and play your natural style of netball and know that your body was going to hold up?
Yeah, I think it's probably the biggest part of it. Obviously, the physical side is huge, but no one really tells you what the mental side's going to be like, and I don't think you can understand it until maybe you've gone through it. But having gone through the knee reco, COVID, sort of making my rehab a little bit disjointed, and then going through another surgery at the end of last year, I did really question whether I was actually going to be able to play again. I couldn't run up until 5 weeks before the season. So as I said, the mental side has been massive, but I don't think that would have been possible without the support that I got from the club. They found the best people. I had amazing support around me, my teammates, the coaches. They were so patient with me throughout the whole thing. And I was just proud that I was able to go out there and play for them, and sort of give back to them what they gave to me in the confidence that they had to get me back out on court.
There was some real breakthrough performances as a whole for the group this year. Can you talk us through some of your highlights for season 2021?
I would say probably the Derby win was a pretty exciting one. It's always been a big tussle since I've been back at Collingwood against Vixens, and to beat them by 16 goals, I think really consolidated to us that we're a good contender to take out a finals berth or even reach a premiership game. But I think for me, the biggest game, and I've spoken to Richo and Kate about this, was the Firebirds game. I think it was down in Tassie. For me, it was just pure grit, determination. It took every single player in our team to get over the line there. And I think it was a massive turning point for us to have confidence that we'd be able to beat any team and that we can get through tough, tight contests. And I think we'd struggled to prove that to ourselves in matches before.
Yeah, it's shown plenty of promise for us to be excited about in season 2022, that's for sure. Now, you've escaped the Melbourne winter. You're up in Queensland. Can you talk us through what your off-season plans are?
Yeah, so I'm currently in the NRL bubble with my partner Ryan. They have one more round game to go and then heading into finals. So I've gone from the netball bubble into a football bubble, which I'm super grateful to be in Queensland. I'm very lucky. And then, head back home to Melbourne, I've been training a little bit up here, but start getting back on court. And I'm really excited for next year and moving forward with netball with a body that can actually handle the load.
We're really excited to see you get a clean run at it as well. Is there anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
I think I've touched on a few people, but obviously the Magpies fans and the sponsors. I think it's probably been tough to stick with us throughout a year that, you haven't been able to watch us at home or, see us do our thing in Melbourne, but we definitely felt the love from afar, and we're very grateful to have you guys around and sticking with us. I think to Kate and Richo, thank you for helping me take my game to another level and for being super patient with me. I really appreciate you guys and the confidence that you've given me to get back out on court. The girls, I don't think we would have got through the hub without the personalities and the unique people that we have in our group. And like Jiva said, you guys had been my family for this whole year. So thank you for everything and being an amazing support. And my family and my partner Ryan, again, having gone through 2 years of injury, I couldn't have got back out on court without their support and their love. So thank you to them. I think that's it. My biggest one is obviously the support staff. Like I said, it was a grueling process to get me back out on court, but Adriana Howler, who was at the club before this, Bianca giving me stats all the time, and Michelle for being my second mum. I really appreciate you guys, sorting me out and giving me confidence to get back out on court. So thank you to everyone. Super exciting year for the Pies.
An outstanding season on your behalf, Kelsey. Congratulations, runner-up in the 2021 Collingwood Magpies Best and Fairest. And your co-runner-up winner, of course, is one of the rising stars of Suncorp Super Netball and one of the most exciting players in the competition. 614 goals at 93%. That's an outstanding effort. Shimona Nelson, that's quite some season that you put together.
Yeah, I'll say that. But I think, as Kelsey said before, I think it was like mainly like the support around, like, for example, me, and like changing my game and like being able to adjust to what's in front of me, and just like being able to like have confidence in myself and also in my teammates.
You could see your confidence build across the season. What sparks that? Is it a form thing? Is it the connections with your teammates? What helped that confidence really build across 2021?
I think the confidence, it was built like through like the off-season work, so getting like the hard bits out and like working on each other's craft, having those combination build. And I think like just like cementing those combination and those trusts, I think that's what actually boosted my confidence. And I think I can say for the girls, it boosted the same, because we know what our strengths are and we use that to our advantage.
And we saw that connection that you were building with Kelsey Brown across the season. You must love having someone with Kelsey's talents feeding you the ball week in, week out. She's one of the most talented players in the league in terms of feeds into the goal circle.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But I can say like Kelsey and I, we actually worked on our combination and like what she wants from me and what I want from her. So I think, as I said before, we did the base work early, so that's during the game, I'm not worried about like, oh, should I post it here? Should Kelsey have passed the ball here? So I think like us, we actually worked on that before the season, even though she only had 5 weeks in. We actually took the time out to work on what was going to be our strength during the game.
And we've spoken about plenty of times the challenges of travelling non-stop throughout the COVID situation that was arising across the season. But was there a sense of the team coming together and building really tight-knit relationships when you put in that sort of environment and you have to just go on the fly with your teammates and travelling so much? Do you really build some strong bonds off the court?
I'll say definitely yes. Even though like the emotions may go up and down, we probably be like, you want to be alone, but we have such a strong bond where knowing that we can just probably call anyone at any time and they'll be there. Like, for example, like for me, I'd probably call like Kate, who might have busy stuff doing with videos, and Richo, but then, you know, she takes the time out to talk to me. I can like talk to Richo, Kelsey, Gabby, anyone. So like the relationship is there, and like we're not afraid to express how we feel. Like we can cry, we can shout, we like literally we express ourselves, because then and there we know like we're a family. So we don't really hold back on what we're feeling. So we just say it as it is, even though that's not good sometimes. We both get emotional on both sides, but, you know, at least we're aware of what you're going through and how we can help. So, yeah.
It's a really beautiful way of describing the team, that you're like a family. Having that sort of foundation and relationships built so strongly must make you really excited for season 2022 and what you'll be able to put out on court as a family.
Oh, definitely. Like sometimes, like when you see like your teammate cry, there's no way there's not fire in your stomach. Like I get that a lot. Like, for example, when Gabby hurt her finger on court, I was like, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna let my girl go down like that. So I was like, you know, you get fired up from that. So I was like, there's a bit of mongrel in me. I was like, I'm gonna go out there and kill it, you know. So like I treasure stuff like that. Like when you express your emotions, like I'll like go the extra miles for you. So, and I think that's what I value so much here at the club, where I feel like it's a family, you know. So yeah, I'm actually fired up for 2022. So yeah,
I want to play with you. You sound like an amazing teammate. Is there anyone you want to thank, Shimona?
I definitely, first and foremost, I have to say thank you to my teammates and the coaches because they've done it tough with us, and I cannot be more grateful for what they've done for us. I say we've had it tough, but we got through it. I'd also like to say thank you to our sponsors and also our members. It's been a tough time, but you've stuck it out with us, and I'll say thank you to my cats, but they're here all the time, so they're good. But yeah.
Shimona, we absolutely love watching you play in 2021. It was an outstanding season, and we can't wait to watch the amazing performances that you continue to put out in the black and white stripes. So congratulations to you and Kelsey Brown, our joint runner-up in the 2021 Collingwood Magpies Best and Fairest.
Thank you so much.
Well, that means it's now time to award Collingwood Magpies' 5th Best and Fairest winner, and this athlete had a stellar season, 34 intercepts, 83 deflections. She's been a rock in defence for the Magpies in just her second Super Netball League season. She was named Goal Defence in the Net Points Team of the Year. She is an absolute star of the game. The 2021 Collingwood Magpies Netball Best and Fairest goes to Jodie Ann Ward.
I was really impressed by Jodie Ann Ward.
She is such an exciting defender. She is naturally extremely athletic.
Oh, Jodie Ann Ward, a little right arm deflection.
She's an incredible athlete. We've seen what she's capable of doing in the air.
Some great vision there, Jodie Ann Ward, an amazing season. Jodie, you're joining us from Jamaica. Thank you for I think it's 9 o'clock where you are. You must be absolutely rapt to take out your first Best and Fairest here with Collingwood.
Yes, it's really special. I didn't expect to win this award. But I think it's really special to me because I couldn't have done it without my teammates around me. I couldn't have played the way I did without them around me, and also to the coaches as well. They've supported me throughout this season. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your teammates. You're obviously playing back in defence, largely with the skipper, Jiva Mentor. Can you talk through some of those connections that you've made in defence in your first 2 seasons at the Magpies?
Jiva is a really special player. I think I'm privileged to have been able to play 2 seasons with her. I've learned so much. Thank you, Carson. Thank you.
Who do we have there?
This is Carson. He just came to congratulate me. Thank you. I think I'm honored to be able to play with Jiva for 2 seasons. She's a really special player, and I think she's a very special person as well, even off the court and on the court as well. I've learned a lot from her, and she supported me through my hardest times there. Jiva, you know what I'm talking about. My hardest times this season, she's supported me. And I really appreciate her for that. Yeah, thanks to you.
Having experienced hard times throughout the season, it must make rewards like this all the more sweeter.
It has. This season has been really hard. The uncertainties, the players that we have really made it easy, because I think our personalities really do. I would say the personalities complement each other. So that made it really easy for us to get through this season in our little bubble. Yeah, it's really great to have such special girls. We've been through a lot this season, and to be able to accomplish all that we have accomplished is really great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. You're just missing out on finals. You've only played 3 home games over the past 2 seasons. In trying circumstances, the Magpies girls have really pulled together and produced some amazing results. Can you talk us through what some of your highlights were for the 2021 season?
I think the most special one of all is that game against the Lightning. That game taught us so much, and it showed that we are capable of getting the job done when we need to get it done. That was a really hard game, and I think that we played a really great game. And it's just that we couldn't make it in the dying moments of the game. But I think that game was a really reflector of what the team can do and what each player is capable of doing.
Yeah, season 2022 looks really exciting for the team. Can you tell us a little bit about what we can expect going forward for Collingwood Magpies?
I think the most important thing to look forward to from the Collingwood Magpies is the building of the bonds that we have started building. I think that is really important for us to be able to perform as a team. And I think we have started doing that, and we have been doing a good job at those bonds, both on and off the court. And that's going to get us over the finish line 2022.
Jodie, it was an amazing season on your behalf. Is there anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Firstly, Adriana. Adriana, you've held my body up. You've fixed me to be able to perform and finish my season. The coaches who have supported me throughout this season and made me feel confident enough to be able to go out on court and perform. And my team that has been around me. I couldn't have done this without you guys. And it's really special to have such great persons around. The support staff, Michelle, Bianca, you guys did a really great job keeping us afloat over the last few weeks. And to the fans, thank you guys, and the exec body, thank you guys for everything that you have done for the Magpies and continue to support us. Thank you. And my family. How could I get for my family? You guys have supported me throughout this entire season, and I really appreciate all that you have done for me. Yeah, thank you guys.
Now, Jodie Ann, I have your Best and Fairest award sitting here with me. We'll keep it safe until you get back to Australia. It's time to toast the winner of the 2021 Collingwood Magpies Best and Fairest. So I encourage everyone to unmute your microphones. If you've got a glass nearby, it'd be great for you to grab it wherever you are across the world. I think it's 9 a.m. in Jamaica. It might be a little bit early for a champagne, but I think when you've just won the Best and Fairest, you're allowed to do that. So please unmute your microphones, grab a glass, and we are going to toast Collingwood's 5th Best and Fairest winner, the winner of the 2021 Collingwood Magpies Best and Fairest. Well done, Jodie Ann Ward.
We love you.
Judy Payne. Our queen.
So nice to see all the girls there. Jodie Ann, congratulations again, and a big hello and goodbye to Carson as well. Thank you for joining us on the feed. He's a super cutie. Let's take a look at the final leaderboard so we can celebrate all of the individual performances in 2021. Of course, Jodie Ann Ward will be sitting at the top of that leaderboard. Let's see who falls out below her. In second place, Kelsey Brown and Shimona Nelson with 33 votes. Gabby Sinclair pops up with 20 votes and Molly Jovic 18, 2 young guns. So there's some real promise for the future of Collingwood Magpies there. A massive congratulations to those 5 players, but also to the entire roster for pulling together a wonderful season in 2021 in what we've said many times has been trying circumstances. As we wrap up the 2021 season and congratulate our athletes and staff on an amazing effort and what was a testing year, we can't wait to see what 2022 brings for the Collingwood Magpies. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, wherever you may be. It is via Zoom. Hopefully next year we can be doing this in person, but nonetheless, it's been a fantastic event. We've celebrated some incredible athletes that wear the black and white stripes week in and week out. We're incredibly proud of them, and we can't wait to see what they can do for us in 2022. But until then, go Pies!